Avantasia, the all-star rock opera spaceship piloted by Ed Guy singer, songwriter and producer Tobias Sammet, released their 8th full-length album Moonglow via Nuclear Blast Records on February 15th, 2019. Since its beginning in 1999, past Avantasia releases have featured galactic heavyweights such as Alice Cooper, Klaus Meine, Rudolf Schnecker from the Scorpions, Bruce Kulick, Eric Singer from Kiss, Eric Martin, Mr. Big, Saxon's Biff Byfield, ex-Twisted Sister frontman Dee Snider, and many, many more. Just go take a look yourself, and the list, it's very, very, very long. And this one's no different, because this new 11-song record sees Sammet among the most talented and popular names in German hard rock and metal, reunited with some familiar faces too from previous Avantasia albums. And these include Jeff Tate, Pretty Maids frontman Ronnie Atkins, Michael Kiske of Halloween, Jorn Lande, ex-Masterplan, Eric Martin again from Mr. Big, Magnum's Bob Catley. Moonglow also introduces new collaborators Hansi Kirch of Blind Guardian, creators Millie Petroza, and Blackmore Nights frontwoman Candice Knight. It's a truly spectacular fashion, man. This album is, as you can tell just by that list of names, an absolute epic. I mean, that's exactly the case with this new 11-track release, Moonglow. Over an hour of wondrous and otherworldly epics. It might, in my opinion, be the best Avantasia album so far. As Ghost in the Moon ticks all the right boxes with huge sounding symphonies, glorious vocalizations and choruses to die for. It's the opener, and it delivers such feel-good music. Really makes you feel good. It'll make you want to walk up to strangers in the street and give them a massive hug. Really positive vibes, really puts a smile on the face. Book of Shallows then has a bit more power tradition about it, with a really chunky guitar riff and a simple sounding beat that follows nicely into the chorus. The radio-friendly track of the album, I reckon, thanks to its short length and really kind of bouncy groove. This will definitely be a single. The title track then brings things back round to what make Avantasia so special, and that's the marrying of rock and symphonic melody. We get Candice Knight on guest vocals here, and alongside her, the vocals are just really special sounding. Sound tailor-made for the soundtrack of like a modern fantasy movie. It's really, really catchy, impossibly catchy, but it's also really short and sweet. This is one that was released beforehand, so people should have a good grasp of this one. I think if you like this, if you like this particular track, the title track, Moonglow, you're going to really enjoy the album, because this is far from the best in it, and it's still a damn good song. They keep things lively by intersecting their lengthier epics like The Raven Child with shorter ones, and that turns out to be a really smart call. It helps keep the momentum going, especially as the shorter ones tend to have a fair more metal groove to proceedings. Starlight has a hell of a lot of pep to it, and Invincible is a glorious sounding piano-led ballad. Both these heavy hitters are followed by probably the least interesting track in the entire album, in Alchemy, a low point of the record, as it's just very by the numbers with nothing that hooks at all. The length of it does kind of like threaten to derail things, but happily, the Piper at the Gates of Dawn regains a foothold with its synthy elements and hyper chorus. The fast pace is met midpoint by an air-grabbing drop and build back to a frantic finish. This is Avantasia at its strongest. It's really interesting. They go from a fairly bland number in Starlight to this absolute epic. It's incredibly, really, really touching and really, really resonating song, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. So make sure you check that one out if you're only checking out a few tracks in the album. We then reach the kind of final few tracks of the album. You might kind of start to wonder at this stage if things are getting a bit boring, seeing it's 11 tracks and there are some absolutely huge songs on it. But that's far from the case. Lavender is fantastically upbeat and sends warm feelings throughout the body. Requiem for a Dream hits the highs of how an Avantasia epic should sound before we then get a cover of Michael Sembolo's Maniac. She's a maniac, that one. It caps things off in unusual 80s synth style. I didn't think I'd like this. I really didn't think I'd like this song because I don't really care for the original. And it's unusual, but it works. And it's fun. It's fun. It's a nice little touch at the end, you know. So you get these 10 original tracks, this one cover. It's a nice little sort of finish because it's done well. And that's the thing, we've got almost an entire album of bangers here. Moonglow is every bit as good as you could hope it to be. It's an epic listen, borrowing the one track Starlight that doesn't quite, gel as well with the rest. This is for me Avantasia's best album to date. It's out on February 5th, 15th via Nuclear Blast. Make sure you check this one out.